It is 6 o'clock. Thank you for being with us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Let's send it back over to meteorologist Tracy Bean, who's got a very busy morning ahead, and Ashley King. Of course, this is going to have a big impact on traffic when this thing moves into the metro.
Absolutely. I'm a bit of a broken record this morning. Of course, trying to get folks ready. I know people just pop in the morning time for just a few minutes at a time as maybe you're passing by trying to get yourself and the kids ready. But we are going to see again this weather impact alert. And as far as what to expect, it is really going to be some strong to severe storms that are already moving into western Arkansas. And we're seeing some heavy rain also associated off to the west and north of the metro. So commute could be impacted this morning. We're still a bit, out from that, but we're starting to see that make it ever so close to us. And you can see all of that rain again and storms that's continuing to make its way into Arkansas. And we are seeing lots of those active watches of mornings as well. Seeing a bit of wind here around Mena. We had some gusts around 41 miles per hour, and that wouldn't surprise me. As long as we have that bend, we will most likely see that. But we've had lots of rain again in this northern tier of the state. Looking out right now, some clouds, a little bit more so than what we had earlier, a little misty as well. And we are looking at those west-southwesterly winds around 10, but could be a bit gusty as those storms roll through. Now, watching for that severe thunderstorm again around 6:30, and we just had some issued to our south. So I'll keep an eye on these as well as storms making their way in. Nothing here in central Arkansas other than this severe thunderstorm watch, and that's going to be until 11. So I'll keep an eye on things. There could be some heavy rain as well. So again, very, very careful through any flooded areas.
And so far, it's looking good this morning on our roads. I was just trying to pull up a shot to try to see what's going on with our skies more than anything, because our roads are still very clear. We don't have any major volume or anything going on. But yeah, you can definitely see those cloudy skies here. This is looking at Interstate 430 at the Arkansas River Bridge. Tracy's going to keep you up to date on what's going on with the forecast. And then once that rain comes down, just, give yourself some extra time. Don't try to be in a hurry when it's raining and the roads are wet, because we always see a lot of accidents and issues on our roads once it starts raining. So let's try to avoid that today and just give ourselves some extra time. So this is what's happening right now. It's all green on our roads. We'll check it again coming up.
3 people are dead after a small plane crashed in Maryland early Sunday, less than 20 miles east of Washington, D.C.
Investigators say the aircraft went down in a wooded area behind a townhome community and playground. Now, state police believe the flight left Ocean City, New Jersey, and was headed to Montgomery County, Maryland, possibly as part of a training exercise.
Authorities say an iPhone crash alert sparked a large search, but crews didn't find the wreckage until several hours later. Some neighbors heard a noise, but didn't recognize that noise as a plane crash immediately, thinking it could be fireworks.
The neighbors told me that it was a plane crash. I couldn't believe it. I think we're blessed that, we're all safe, but I feel horrible about the people who passed away and their families.
Authorities believe the pilot and 2 passengers were the only people on the plane at the time of the crash.
The incident is now being investigated by the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration, with support from local and state agencies. Vice President J.D. Vance remains in Switzerland this morning as the U.S. and Iran continue high-stakes talks over Tehran's nuclear program. But sharp warnings from both sides are raising the pressure as negotiators work to reach common ground. CBS News correspondent Tina Kraus has the very latest.
The Iranian delegation left Switzerland after negotiations with the U.S. that lasted 18 hours, according to Iran state TV. Press TV also reported a 60-day roadmap was established and talks will continue this week. Vice President J.D. Vance is leading the U.S. delegation.
What the president has asked us to do is turn over a new leaf, to transform our relationship with the people of Iran.
That's easier said than done after Iran said it shut down the Strait of Hormuz to shipping traffic to protest ongoing fighting in Lebanon between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants. President Trump reacted with expletives during a call with Fox News, warning Iranian officials they, quote, won't even make it back to your effing country if they close the strait, vowing to, quote, bomb the S out of them. Trump ally Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says it's a real threat.
If this deal fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz over by force. And if Iran contests, control of the Strait of Hormuz by the United States will obliterate them.
Democratic lawmakers are criticizing the tough talk and the deal itself.
This president has led this nation into a disaster. We have surrendered our power, we have capitulated to the enemy, and they now are mocking us.
A new CBS News poll finds most Americans are ready to be done with the war in Iran. 78% of those surveyed said they want the U.S. to end the conflict now. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
A diplomat tells CBS News that negotiators added an emergency session to address the fighting in Lebanon as the violence threatens to undermine the U.S.-Iran ceasefire. Now, while most Americans are ready to put the war with Iran in the rearview mirror, the conflict is still having a major impact on what drivers pay at the pump. Oil prices moved higher Sunday after President Trump said the U.S. could resume strikes on Iran and take control of the Strait of Hormuz if negotiations break down. Brent crude climbing to nearly $82 a barrel, while U.S. crude rose to $78. AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas right now stands at $3.94. with Arkansas drivers paying about $3.55 a gallon. Also new this morning, Britain's prime minister is stepping down from his post.
Keir Starmer announced that within the last couple of hours, he will resign as leader of the Labour Party after less than 2 years in office. He says the process to choose a new leader will begin in July. Starmer plans to stay on as prime minister until that process is finished.
I will remain in post as Prime Minister until the contest is complete, and I will do everything I can to ensure an orderly handover of power. I will also give my successor my full and unequivocal support, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago.
Starmer says his successor should be in place before Parliament returns from its summer break in September. The change would give Britain its 7th prime minister in just a decade.
The Arkansas State Board of Nursing is issuing a warning about scams targeting license holders across the state. The board said scammers are calling nurses and making it appear as though the call is coming from the board's office. The callers then ask for personal information while claiming they need to verify their nursing license. Officials stress the board does not verify licensure or request personal information through unsolicited phone calls. Instead, any legitimate communication from the board would be sent through the nurse portal.
They usually are creating a sense of urgency with these nurses, telling them they're in trouble, there's an investigation, there's something wrong with their license.
Nurses who receive a suspicious call like that are urged to hang up, avoid sharing any information, and check the portal for any official messages. The Arkansas Senior Olympics is facing a funding hit only weeks before its summer events after state officials say a planned grant will not be dispersed. The Department of Human Services says the $70,000 sub-grant will not be paid out when the new fiscal year begins July 1st. Organizers say they were counting on that money as they move into a busy qualifying season this summer.
They approved us for another 2 years. So basically they said, you get our fiscal year with them starts July the 1st. Okay. And so July the 1st is usually when we start our budget, when we need the money, because most of our sports and events that we do are in the, starting at the end of August.
The program, now serving hundreds of senior athletes across events like swimming, cycling, and track and field, says the timing could force cuts or changes. Lawmakers are now seeking answers on why the funding was pulled after being included in the budget. Now let's take you back to meteorologist Tracy Bean and the forecast as you planned your day.
Well, we are seeing some very active storms, especially in the River Valley area. We are watching again as this moves through lots of these watches and warnings this morning. And we also have a tornado warning, and that is going to move out of our viewing area again. But that's for Johnson and Logan County until 6:30 this morning. It's just radar indicated, so they're keeping an eye on it as well, as we are too. But again, KFSM, of course, is handling that area. We are seeing, again, statewide, though, a lot of activity. We're watching from the west and watching from the north as well. well. Lots of lightning, lots of heavy rain. It's a very active Monday morning. So again, just keeping in mind, we've also got some flooding to talk about as well with these heavy rain showers. We've got the severe thunderstorm warning through 6:30, and again to our south as well. Looking at that bowing of that storms as it was making its way in with lots of winds as well. And that current watch is going to be again pretty much the entire half of the state. So we'll keep an eye on things, of course, and let you know what to expect. This is going to be until around 11 a.m. this morning, a very active commute time. So make sure you are being very careful, especially with any areas that are seeing, again, potential tornadic activity. These heavy rain showers as it's making its way into, in fact, around the Conway area. It's going to be very heavy at times. So be extra careful as you're heading out and if you're heading into the metro this morning, and especially if you're heading back up Interstate 40 there, starting to see some of those heavy storms there as well.
So far, things are good on our roads. It is 6:10, and we just don't have a lot of volume right now on this Monday morning. We're looking at the Big Rock interchange. You can definitely see those cloudy skies that Tracy is talking about. But as far as our roads go, just a few cars out there. But of course, in the 7 o'clock hour, when we're on THV 11 Plus, we'll see more volume. That's when it really starts to get busy, of course, closer to the 8 o'clock hour. But for now, things are looking good. This is our live traffic map with all green across our roads. We'll give it another look coming up in a few minutes.